Today we are going to be talking about the launch of CRM 2013. My name is Michael Perez. I will be here for any assistance with questions, and Ellie Aron is our CRM product lead and will be doing the presentation. I'll turn it over to you, Ellie.
Thank you, Michael. Good morning, everyone. I'm glad that you guys can join me on this exciting release of Microsoft CRM 2013, which offers a lot of enhancements. My contact information is here. Should you have any other questions or comments, please feel free to reach me via email or via phone. As we get started, don't hesitate to ask any questions at any time during the session. Also, we'll have a dedicated question and answer time at the end of this session, so you can use it during the presentation or later at the end of the presentation as you wish. What we're going to do today is we're going to review what's new with CRM 2013, the differences between the on-premise version as well as the online version, and we're going to go about the main features. What is new, the dynamic forms, the mobile support, and the dashboards. And we're going to take a day in a cycle of marketing, sales, and service so you can actually see how the system works for us. CRM 2013 is a major change in the direction that people look at CRM and software application in general. It is delivering modern, familiar, and compelling user experience. The key focus is on user adoption. How can we build an application, an experience where the users recognize the value, opportunity, and insight immediately and get immersed into the application and like and want to use it as compared to have to use it? Whether they're at the desk in the office, at the remote office at home, or they're road warriors on the road using tablets, cell phones, or laptops. Why CRM? That's a question that everybody asks. Because CRM 2013 focused on delivering a business application that incites users through experiences and technology that make it seamless and device optimized on multiple devices. To deliver upon this, we are focusing this release about the following themes. The design goals were, first of all, make the user comfortable and show them the love of the application. Have a clear, faster, more intuitive interface that drives productivity. Also, process excellence and agility. Agile processes guidance let you respond to rapidly changing business needs. According to the Gartner Group, business processes change on the average every 1 year to 18 months. If we cannot modify our system to support the changes in our business needs, people are not going to use it and the system would not be adopted but would rather be dropped. We are not working from the office like we used to in the good old days. We're on the go. We need to be able to respond to that requirements. As we go, we work across boundaries to create the right customer experience. Those boundaries can be other operating systems like iPad, Android-based tablets, Surface devices powered by Windows, cell phones, again, by Apple, Android, or Windows-driven. So we need to have some platform enhancement to provide a robust platform to test so people can tailor their solutions on it. And as we speak about it, we have to re-image the whole user experience. It is redone from scratch, fast and fluid, relevant to the work at hand. No more 55 windows popping all over the screens, flipping from one application to the next. What you need, when you need it, where you need it. Get it, dive in, do your work, and get done. So you can focus on what is really the most important asset of your company, your customers. As you can see by this slide, the user experience is very, very different than previous application. If we look at this screen, we can see several things there. First of all, what is this record all about? Which you can see on the top left. It says an opportunity. Somebody is interested in a product designer. Number two, why do I need to pay attention to the record? Top right, which shows us when it's supposed to close, what's the amount, etc. Where is this record in the cycle of this business process? Shows it right here. What is the primary information? The status. Secondary information, if there is any. And what is happening, like a chronicle view of this record. From the previous screens, from the previous environments where everything was all over the place, and just click here and this pops up, clicks there and that pops up. And the screen is totally cluttered. Very clean and easy to navigate the screen. The idea is that if we provide an efficient form, productivity would be efficient as well. If a new user experience organizes the information in a clean, concise, easy-to-access manner, it will provide you the information that you need at one time. You'll not be distracted and stay on task. The streamlined navigation experience drops down from the top screen in one single touch. So once we click on sales, for example, underneath it, we're going to see all the different items that are associated with the sales, like account, contacts, opportunities, etc. The data entry is much easier. So when we need to create a record, instead of posting up 250 fields on a cluttered form, we can create a simple creation of a contact and then go back and add more details if needed. We can quickly add or edit products, etc. in inline editable grids. Instead of popping up a form every time we want to add a line item, we can just keep it in a grid. So prices, quantities, discounts can be right from the form, as we can see here. We just add the item, price, the quantity, extended quantity is already calculated. The idea is that everything in CRM is built around relationships. Your CRM system should help you build and nurture those relationships with the prospects and customers. We've made CRM more personal by adding ability to store images and display location. So, as we can see here on the contact record, we have the picture of Adam Carter, and based on the address, there is a map that shows us exactly where he's located. Process excellence and agility. We need to take the guesswork out of the process. We need to know what has been completed, where you are in the process, and what still remains to be done. With the ability to quickly create and modify business processes, the organization can easily adapt to changes in the market. So here we can see a business process that, as we can see, has 4 steps: qualify, develop, propose, and close the sale. As we can see here, the qualify is active. We have some more information that we've already identified for the next steps, like estimated budgets and the capture summary. We can move this along. As we can see, all the qualifying steps are there, so we can move to the next step of developing the process. Again, the guidance can be done and customized to your specific needs and your specific environment, and it can also come across entities. So we can go from contact to opportunity in one business process. As we can see, that it's a different new way to get things done. Each organization can have multiple processes for each entity. The sales cycle for a new sale is very different than the sales cycle for maintenance agreements. So role-specific process assignment sets a default process, and a user can switch to another process if better suited for the task at hand. Required steps within a stage can be enforced so that users are prevented from progressing to the next step in the process. The user is notified, so it is clear what step they need to complete in order to move forward. And as we do all this work, we don't usually do it from the office. We can do it from a tablet, and if the tablet is not Microsoft specific, it could be a Windows tablet, it could be an iPad, or it could be a Droid. But the idea is that it'll be seamless experience. So with the embedded of Skype, we can embed Skype and link and make calls right from the record to our customers. We need to find information and be able to dive into it so we know what we need to do. We can click on a dashboard, filter into the data that is important to us. Once we see it, we can drill down so we can get quick insight to the information that we are looking on. When we use a phone, we need to be able to have basic functionality that is limited by the small screen size of the smart device. And as you can see, it is not brand specific. It can run on any operating system, Droid, iPhone, and Windows. The same is true for tablets. There are different tablets by different manufacturers and different operating systems. The idea is that through the web browser or a mobile device, people can be able to use the liquid layout scale to optimize the viewing experience and adjust various screens, shapes, and resolutions. So as we can see here in this screenshot, this is accessing CRM from a web browser on a tablet. Of course, we can't forget the social network. Many of us use it at home. We use Facebook, we use Twitter, but at the business world, we also use LinkedIn, we use Yammer, etc. With the integration of Yammer within CRM, people start a conversation and follow up tasks and specific instances within the system and get alerted when new things happen on the stuff that they're following, just like we get notification in Facebook. The idea is that we need to be able to communicate with colleagues in real time and have visibility into their availability. Within Link, we can call, we can IM, or meet with colleagues directly from CRM. We have two flavors of CRM. CRM Online, where it is installed on the cloud, so there's no hardware to install at a premise or a license fee for the server. You only pay for what you need, i.e. users and disk space, and you can get CRM up and running very, very quickly, so you can just add your customizations and you are done. And it can support the mobility for the traveling staff as well. You don't have to worry about backups, systems maintenance, etc. And it's part of the Office 365 and Azure offering of Microsoft, so everything can be on the cloud, or specific components can be on the cloud integrated to CRM Online. CRM on-premise allows the hardware IT staff to support your installation, allows you to have your own data backup processes in place, allows you to have your data in-house, not dependent on the internet, and allows to support traveling staff using mobile devices. This usually is used when there's large databases, lots of attachments, and extensive customization needs. Some people would rather not store sensitive client data information on a third-party server. Having said all that, I would like now to jump to the demo and show some of that functionality literally on CRM Online that would allow us to see actually the benefit of this system. So this is an online instance of CRM Online, and if we look at the screen, I see what is new right here in the center, and I have some other dashboards determining my activity, activities, etc. A lot of detail, and again, it can be customized to each user. One thing that you notice, my picture is here. We can now add pictures to any record on the system, as well as maps. And as you can see here, I've subscribed to watch one case. When I click on it, you see it'll open the case that I'm looking at and allow me to see the details that I'm copying. You see here is the cases I follow, and I can just open it and see the information on that specific case so I know what's going on. Again, as we can see here, the screen is very, very clean and easy to pay attention to detail. The case status, as we can see now, is in research mode, and it's not resolved yet. If I'd like to see what has happened on the screen, what I can do is by clicking on this window here, I can look at case closed activity, what was done on this case already, what was completed. I see not too much was done. What is scheduled to be done, if any. You see here it is, there's a callback scheduled to be done. And I can see the status of it, it's still open. So very easily and very quickly, everything is in my fingertip in a clean, nice way. Another thing that I'd like to point to is that save button right here. The phones auto-save every less than a minute. So when we are on a phone, we made a change. Within a minute, it's already saved. We don't have to save the phone. Several other things that CRM allows us to do that I'd like to focus on is some business processes that we can do. For example, let's presume we have a contact, and in contact we have the way we would like to communicate with that contact. And let's presume that this person here, their preferred method of contact is via email. So one would say that if I want to set it to email, I would want to create the rule that say that this email field must be required, because if it's not required, how can I communicate with the person on email when there's no email address there? That'll force me to select an email. So what I can do is I can go to CRM, I can go to the settings, and once I'm at the settings, I can select customization, and I can go to the contact entity, and here there will be something new on the contact entity that would allow us to create that specific rule that's called a business rule. So I'm going here to business rule, and I'm going to create a new business rule. And here is again the condition, the action, and the description. The rule name, ensure that there is an email address if preferred contact method is email. That's a mouthful. And so I go over here to the condition, and now I select the field, and it was preferred method of contact, operator equal, type is a field, and I want to say value, and the value is email. So now I created a contact, a condition that says if I want to make this the contact with the client as an email, the preferred menu, then, and by the way, I can add more as you can see, then I can set required the field email address as business required. So I simply scroll down here to the email address and set it as business required. And here I can type some more details about that. So, and here, as we can see, there is a scope, one form or all form. So if I have multiple forms for contact, I can select which form that will be, or make it for all forms. This becomes interesting. You want to use it usually with mobile or cell phone. So when you have a mobile form, you may not want to have all that information on there. So now it is saved. Now I'll activate it. Yes, I want to activate it. So I activated the form. And now, if I go back to sales, to contacts, I'll select Jim, for example. And right now you see the email is not a required field. There's no red dot next to it. But if I go to contact method, email, and save, what will happen here is if I refresh the form, let's say if I go down and back up one, I will see that the email address you see right here is now with a red dot that is required. By the way, I have to set another rule that says if contact method, the preferred contact method is not email, don't make the email field required. Again, this can be done by an administrator, not by a developer. The quick response to the requirement is turnaround time is very quick. In addition, as we can see, we have here the map based on the address. So, for example, this is a valid address. If we go here and we try to change the address, and if I can put here the address of 875 6th Avenue, 20th floor, New York, change the zip to 10001, and say done. The address, again, if I refresh the screen, I can see how the map would come up. As you can see right here, I am set. It showed me, now it's showing me the map of the new address that I've created. Right here on in New York City as compared to in Washington State. So we have the map, which is a new icon. We have also a picture. So if I click on the picture, I can upload any other picture, or I can use the default image. Other things that I can do, again, those three dots allows me to run other things. If I would like to see everything that happened with this contact, I simply click here, and it shows me by activities what are the open, closed, or all activities that have happened with this contact, and I can select all activities. It shows me if there was anything that was done, it will show me. If not, stuff that is scheduled to be done. And if I want to return, I just click on the name, and here I am back. Another thing that I mentioned before is the Save button. If I go here to the record and change the phone number, you see it says Unsaved Changes. I can either save the record manually or wait for the timeout to pass, and then the record would be saved. Another thing, as you can see, I could have gone and see, but I can see also all the history of the activities. As I said, the timeout passed, the record was saved, as you can see here, and with a new 212 address to the area code. So if I go back to that record, you see the new address is here, the new phone number is here with the area code, the new address is here, etc. If I want to go back to my home page, just one click takes me all the way out, right back to the dashboard. Now, if I go to Contacts, you see I have here this, and that arrow allows me to see the last few accounts, the last few contacts I was on, so I can jump on them very quickly with one click. I can jump to my prior contacts. Same is true if I go to Sales and select Accounts. This would allow me to see the last was on, and I can, with one click, jump to the account record and see what is happening here. As we can see, there is no business rule for the account record. There's no ledger here. But those can be created and added based on specific triggers on the system. This sums up the presentation of Microsoft CRM 2013, all the new features of it. Should you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to contact us, and we'll be glad to help you with more information.